For the past month, America's attention has been fixated on the Trayvon Martin case, with constant coverage and commentary. There have been racial overtones layered onto the debate, accusations of Old South-style justice, threats to riot, public moments of silence, and intense bickering on the popular social media sites. Why is this? Let's put the particulars of the case aside for a second, take a step back, and put this in perspective. First of all, when a young person dies a violent death, it's a tragedy, no matter how you cut it. Regardless of who is at fault or how checkered a life that person lived, the pain is still the same for the friends and family of the deceased. Unfortunately, in the United States, we have a justice and media system which takes what would have been a family tragedy and turns it into a circus. And they parade that circus in front of the entire world as if it were of utmost importance to your future and the future of your country. And most of the public eats it up. Yes, let's focus all of our attention on one highly questionable and contentious altercation where one person ended up dead in the hands of a civilian. And let's ignore the scores of other cases of blatant police brutality and outright murder that we've seen just this past year. How about the Dorner case, where the LAPD finally admitted that they set fire to the house he was in intentionally, burning the man alive. Of course, they denied it at first, but they were caught in audio recordings, and they were forced to change their story. The officers responsible didn't get charged. There was no trial. The media didn't focus your attention there. Why not? Why didn't they turn the Dorner case into a circus? Why didn't they hound the officers responsible and dig into the particulars of that case? Why didn't the media make it into a scandal when during the Dorner manhunt, the LAPD opened fire without warning on a pickup truck, hitting 71-year-old Emma Hernandez in the back and injuring 47-year-old Maggie Carranza with flying glass? Why didn't the mainstream media so much as bat an eye when the FBI brutally murdered a friend of the Tsarnaev brothers, Ibrahim Todoshev, who was unarmed at the time, shooting him 6 times in the body and once to the top of the head? I'll tell you why. Because these cases would unite the people against the corrupt police state that's being set up right now, while the Trayvon Martin case divides people. And that's what they want. They want you divided. That's what this comes down to, folks. Like it or not, the media is playing you like a fiddle, stirring up your emotions, turning you against each other, and distracting you from what's really going on. Pay no attention to the thousands of innocent civilians being brutally murdered by the U.S. government using your tax dollars. Pay no attention to the countless drone strikes, raids, and so-called precision bombings wreaking death and destruction all over the Middle East and Africa right now. Pay no attention to the fact that your government has set up a police state surveillance system to gather and store each and every one of your communications, a system that would have made the East German secret police green with envy. Pay no attention to the fact that the U.S. is now openly arming violent extremists in Syria in their continued effort to topple the Syrian government and to draw Iran into a war. Extremists who have already demonstrated their willingness to engage in human rights violations and extreme brutality. Pay no attention to the fact that your government sent thousands of guns to Mexican drug cartels in Operation Fast and Furious. Guns that have resulted in hundreds of deaths on both sides of the border. Oh, and especially pay no attention to the fact that those who planned the operation are still in office. Never mind all that. Put all that meaningless trivia aside and let's focus on whether George Zimmerman should have gotten out of the car. And whether his actions were racially motivated. And whether Trayvon was a troublemaker or not. Yeah, that's what's important. That's what the mainstream media has decided is important, and it's not like you're allowed to think for yourself and question where your attention is being driven. It's not like you could turn off your TV and take a look at the world without your habitual Jerry Springer beer goggles. No, that would be taking it too far. Seriously, America, wake up. There's far too much at stake for you to keep falling for this crap over and over and over again. If you'd like more videos like this, subscribe to Storm Clouds Gathering on YouTube. For news, updates, and bonus content, follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/Storm Clouds Gathering. On Twitter at Collapse Updates. You can find us on Google Plus by doing a search for Storm Clouds Gathering. And our website is stormcloudsgathering.com.